And welcome to video number 1. What we're going to be talking about today is exercise A. And exercise A is really developed to get us blowing out evenly across 4 counts with the correct airstream for the note. Okay, so during the 4 count rest, like we talked about during the introductory videos, what we're going to do is breathing through our nose. And one of the members of brass staff said, just smell the air, right? Nice big full breath in. We're not trying to anything like that. So initially you're going to get a count off 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 with the pitch, and then you're going to come in with that. Feel free to breathe normally during that, but inside the exercise, breathe through your nose, again keeping the corner set, not engaged, but keeping contact with the mouthpiece, so that we're developing one embouchure and one structure that becomes flexible. So you'll get the count off. And when the air goes in my nose and then out my mouth, not a lot of stuff is changing on the inside of my oral cavity. Okay? It's changing so that it's resonant for where the note needs to be. Because again, the buzz is the last part of the internal process. What's past the buzz? The instrument, the mouthpiece, the valves, the bell, the sound, the audience. So if the buzz is the last part of what we're doing, we need to focus and make sure that the air in the oral cavity are set up correctly for the note. If I need you to buzz an F, why would you blow an E airstream? It doesn't make sense. It's going to alter the pitch. We need to make sure the entire system is working for us, not against us. Because if we're blowing a different airstream, and then we need to play an F, but our air is an E flat or an A, our lips make up that difference. That's what leads to tight sounds. It's what leads to not the most resonant or characteristic sounds. So again, a generality that we're going to apply for everything is don't be generic. I understand the irony in that, but don't be generic. Why blow one air column with no regard for anything else? So I'll leave you with this one before we get to the next video with the next exercise. Air support. Blowing the correct speed and air column width for the note and volume that we're playing. Each of these notes requires a different air speed. The method of blowing is still the same. We're still blowing out that straw. I'm not going, oh, there's a low note. No. Still forward. Okay, so the method of blowing maintains the same process, the same structure, and from there we can develop flexibility. Okay, the air column size. If the air speed is the pitch, how wide that air column is now the volume. So a skinnier column of air is going to vibrate a little bit of lip tissue at the right pitch level. A wider air column is going to vibrate a larger tissues in here, and we're going to get more vibration. More vibration equals more sound. So again, air supports. Am I blowing the correct speed and column width for the note and volume that I'm being asked to play? See you in the next video. And welcome to video number 2. We're going to be talking about exercise B. Super similar to exercise A, but this time we're going to add articulations. Okay, so in the previous video and the previous exercise, we really just blew out for 4 counts. Now we're going to make that 8 counts, and we're going to add some tongue motion. Okay, so again, if you have your straw, think about putting the straw in between your teeth as a preliminary exercise before you get on the horn. Again, our tongue is going to be right there, right below it. Okay, so when I'm blowing out, remember we start, our tongue's blocking and moves down. And then we're just going to have a quick to here, to there, to there, to there, to there. Okay? Remember, if we pull our tongue back, this is our throat. This is the back of our oral cavity. This is the passageway for the air. So if our tongue comes back, we're now blocking. We've put a couch in front of that doorway, and the air is going to have a tough time getting out. So, start, tongue blocked. Or if we want to do the set exercise and go 1, 2, absolutely fine too, especially when we're using a straw. Anything we can do away from the instrument that builds proper habits, we have a skill set that we can take to the instrument, okay? A lot of times when we try to learn new things on the instrument, we have baggage. And with that baggage, we turn into a little self-battle, okay? We're trying to fight ourselves. This is how I used to do it, this is what I'm trying to do. Learn the skill away from the instrument, so when you come to the instrument, you already have it done right, okay? So, that's what I'll do. And again, my tongue is here. It's going to start. It's going to release. Go back up and block. Go back up and block. And listen for the back of the notes. Again, a lot of times we say, hey, good fronts, but it's the back of the note that actually gives us the connection between things. So, 1, 2. Obviously didn't hold that last one out for 4 counts, but I want to show you guys the method of attack by going up and the consistency of the back end of the air. Now, with the drone track that's happening here, you want to make sure that your attack isn't going, okay? Again, if air speed is pitch and we're blowing out a consistent concert F air, your tongue isn't slicing the airstream, it's blocking it, releasing it, blocking it, releasing it. That's what's actually happening, okay? If we think slice, there's never a point of stopping or going through things, or the water faucet idea, and you're sort of doing this. You're not. You're breaking it and coming back, breaking it and coming back. Don't get that popping sound. You want to minimize, and if you do, that's me sort of doing this, okay? Minimize the motion. If we can minimize the distance the tongue is traveling, we're going to have quicker articulations, okay? So listen for those 2 things. Listen for the immediacy of that sound at the beginning of the note. Listen for, is your attack in pitch with the drone? Okay, the one good thing about these drones is if there's any inconsistency in your air, your tone quality, attacks where your tongue is, it shows up super quick because we hear the differences, okay? So as we get down lower and lower, remember to breathe in through that, the nasal cavity, smell the air, and as you get lower, think about forward. Even the low C, the low B flat, it's not. And even if you watch right here, we see the muscles engage. There should be a nice, easy transition from the nose, blowing out. There is a wider air column. You know, those are different size straws. And if you just think about every straw is just a little bit wider. We're still forward. We're still trying to blow bubbles through the thing, but we're not trying to go low note Okay, don't blow out from the back of the throat. It's always forward, it's always a directional, it's the same method regardless of register. And that's gonna really help us blend our registers so we have a consistent tone quality throughout everything. Good luck, see you in the next video. And welcome back to video number 3. We're talking about exercise C right now. What we've done so far is work on the open notes and then gradually go down by half steps. Now we're going to try to connect them. And a very important part of this exercise is connecting the buzz and the valve depression, okay? So I'm on my little keyboard over here, and what I want you to think about is if you were going to buzz, turn the volume down. Really try to gliss down through there, okay? So if you're doing this mouthpiece alone, with that half step, okay? And then when you get to on the horn, connect the buzz, really slow valve motion, okay? Want that mushiness initially, connecting this and this, okay? Eventually, as you speed up the valves, blow through the note to the next one. Not at and at, but through and to. Try to connect the back end of one note to the front end of the next note. In this case, with a gliss, that happens very, very quickly. If you blow at the note, or just leave your air blowing that first note, it sounds okay. But eventually, blowing F air and putting valves down leads to the sound's not as resonant, okay? So always think, am I buzzing the right note? A quick check for this, very, very simple. Blow out and pull the horn away from your face and keep blowing out. Check the pitch of that air. The next sequence. So take it out of tempo. We're scientific method, trying to gather data. Making sure that our air is set up. And if you find yourself going, and you're like, wow, that air is nowhere close to what I was putting in the horn, maybe adjust what you're doing. Maybe go back to the mouthpiece and and trying to connect those half steps a little bit with a gliss, okay? Again, so process. Try it with your air first if you want. And again, this is where we're also going to be breathing through the nose to keep that relaxed oral cavity, not an overly formed anything. And then go back and do the half valve, a real gooey valve, out of tempo. And try to get that slide between everything. Okay? Last thing. Don't do that. Again, smell the air when you're going through it. Keep it relaxed. Don't try to force. See you in the next video. In the last video, exercise D in part 1, what we're doing is we just did all those intervals, okay, down by half step, down by half step, down by half step in exercise C. What we're doing now is expanding that interval a little further and further. So think about a rubber band. If I'm holding it here, stretching a little bit and back up, stretching a little bit back up, stretching a little bit back up, stretching a little bit and back up, okay? So as we're doing this, you want to connect the ideas of the previous exercise with the buzz happening here. The buzz changes as the valves move. When we go from here to here, what's happening? The buzz needs to change quicker, not more. It is changing more, but it needs to change quicker because we're traveling a farther distance, okay? If we leave the same rate of change from here to here as from here to here, we're going to miss that bottom note, okay? And then we're going to get that sort of sound. So think about breaking this exercise up into 2 parts. Part 1, doing what we just did in exercise C. And really trying to get that buzz to transfer through a slow, gooey valve. The next part of it, undo it. So start on the middle note and go up. Pay attention to how slowly I'm doing that. I'm not just going up, but I'm controlling both directions, okay? So the exercise, if you want to break it down a little bit, go F to E, E to F. F to E flat to F. All the way down to the low C or low B flat, and then go back and play it as written, but think about that deliberate process you were just doing. And then once you get the track, move it in time, but still keep that buzz coordinated with that. The last thing you want to do is have your air with your buzz not aligned with your fingers. Again, when we do this, the buzz needs to go from here to there. Not in a jerky motion, but in a smooth manner, okay? As always, listen for even tone quality, match the pitch of the track. What that's going to do, it's going to help develop your ear. You're going to be able to tell if you're out of tune with your neighbors, okay? So if we all use this track and we figure out exactly where the note centers are on all of our notes, on all of our horns, we have a way better chance of matching tone colors, which means matching volume, which means matching pitch. Because now we're trying to blend a green and a green, not try to blend a red and a blue. Okay, if the colors match, and the colors will match if we're all using the same method of blowing. Okay, look forward to the next video in set number 2. See you soon. Bye.